you've mentioned him, the KFC, FLG MVP, and it's actually impossible to go past Mitchell Moses. It was a great first half battle that he had with Adam Reynolds. Yeah. But I'm so interested to know, Kevy, how one player, like we talk about it as if he is making such a difference.
Yeah, particularly
how he can do that to a team.
Different players in teams that just bring the energy, they bring the nous, they bring confidence, and he's one of those players. You know, I haven't had a lot to do with Mitch, obviously coached a bit against him, but whenever he plays for Parramatta, everyone seems to lift. And particularly with his kicking game, I know that alone, because Mick said at half-time, those kicks were going 15 metres longer than they've had all season, or basically since about round 6 or 7 or 14, whenever he was out. And, you know, even that alone, where you start and finish your sets, that gives you confidence from an offensive point of view, because you're not burning the energy, trying to chase the opposition. You're there meeting them. It was a terrific performance from Mitch, and for being out for so long. And we've seen him do this before, haven't we? Come back in and dominate from the outset. So it was a terrific performance and great to see. I love it when halfbacks, and Adam Reynolds was like that. I've seen him at training, at the Broncos with his kicking game. That little kick that he put in across for the try in the first half. I've seen Reynolds do that so many times at training and also in games. And it looks easy to do, but it's very difficult to pull off.
Yeah, saw in those minimal moments or patches, like you touched on, Kev, like when Brisbane got down inside Parramatta's half, when they had multiple sets, the ball movement and how athletic they are, and they've got genuine tackle breakers. What Moses did tonight, Brisbane want to come and they want to entertain. They can stay in periods of grind from what I've seen this season, but then they get impatient. We saw that in the back at the start of the first half. 4 straight errors, 4 sets in a row, 4 errors. We saw kick-outs on the full tonight. Like there's just a lack of patience at time in Brisbane. And so Mitch, being the student that he is, goes, I'm just going to continue to put you in those uncomfortable spots all night that starve you of giving you that field position to play that free-flowing footy that you want. Yeah. He drove them mad. Yeah. Like, he just continued. He'd kick early, so big fellas had to turn around and get back behind the footy. Yep. Then he'd kick high into a corner, land it 2 or 3 metres out from the line. Yeah. It was relentless.
But that becomes, I guess, a flaw in their game plan a little bit. And Cooper Cronk for the Broncos said it in the first half, that if a team goes with them and applies the pressure, they'll go for the miracle play. And that's pretty much how it played out in the second half at times. Not
so much the miracle play, but they'll risk. He's a risk taker. Yeah. And sometimes it does work. And tonight, well, it nearly did work in the end. He got caught offside off that rubber through. But, that's the way he plays. He'd be disappointed with the biggest one. The biggest one I think he'd be disappointed with was the flick pass in the start of the second half. He just got to get tackled with the ball there, get to that kick it downfield.
Because the Eels scored the last try of the first half.
That's right.
And got themselves to 14-12. They were down 14-6 at that time. Yeah. And then they scored the first try of the second half. So Lamack scored either side of half-time. And that was off the back of the Reece Walsh error in the second half. Early in the second half, he went for the miracle pass. It hit the ground. Josh Adokar cleaned it up. They scored later in that set. So his errors were costly. Now, if he had have scored that try, if that had been a try right on full time, everyone forgets about the errors. No. Everyone forgets what happened during the game. Yeah. But that is a problem for them. Yeah. That has been a problem. That was a problem at the start of the year. Yep. And it was costly for them then. It will be costly as they go further into this competition. Yeah. Not getting the points tonight, it probably won't make a difference. Like that they still sit in 5th. Penrith have the chance to jump them, and then the sides on 24 have the chance to square up with them.
But there's a question mark there about, I guess, what they can do in this premiership.
Well, they've had 6 wins, but all of a sudden, and they've had 6 wins, which is pretty good. They've had a really good period, haven't they? Yep. But the Eels matched them tonight, and Mitch Moses decided, I'm just going to keep putting the ball in that 10-metre square and see them come out of trouble and see if they do panic, and they did. Yep.
Looking at our VB hardest working player from this game, and it had to be a Parramatta Eels player, and it went to our winger, Zach Lomax, who was everywhere and is always everywhere, and on the end of some Mitch Moses brilliance again tonight.
I'm not sure. Brandy and I have had this conversation before. Like, there are some incredible finishes and some great wingers in our game, but in terms of the whole package and what Lomax brings, like he is an incredible finisher. His work out of the backfield, his tackle busting, his offloading, and his thirst for work make him absolutely one of the elite wingers in our game at the moment. I thought he was terrific tonight, Brandy.
I think he's been a fantastic buy for the Eels. And there's been stages through the year in certain games that he's played, and I've thought, I don't think I've seen a winger this year have an impact, have as big an impact on the result of the game. Yeah, and look, the Eels that was only their 6th win tonight. Yeah. But it was by far their best win of the season when you look at the sides that they've beaten leading into this one. But Lomax was, again, incredible. Was it over 20 runs? Was it nearly 200 metres? It was tackle bust. It was, getting himself involved in every kick that went up. Yeah. He just puts himself in the game all the time.
Yeah. Jason Ryles has been really clear on his vision and where...
Just about to talk about that.
His side's headed, and he's been very... he's been not afraid to make big calls on how to get it done now. He's vowed to keep trying new things, new combinations, and then tonight he had to move Joash Papali'i to full-back. Nearly heartbreaking scenes for him at the end of that game. But these young guys that he has clear faith in, getting a shot to build for next year, and they're making the most of it.
Well, Ioing's been fantastic, hasn't he? Like, he's been one of the stories of the season. He has been.
Well, he might be the rookie of the year.
There was so much speculation about the moving of their captain, Clint Gutherson, because Gutherson started the year on fire down at the Dragons. His attacking numbers were through the roof from the outset. Parramatta struggled. They were beaten comprehensively a couple of times in that first month, and everyone was going, boy, what couldn't they do with Clint Gutherson at the moment? Just that leadership. And as the season's ticked over, Ioing's been absolutely incredible, and this man's been sitting behind him, and Jason Ryles has backed him. He's backed him and gave him an opportunity tonight, and from that first run of the game tonight, he sliced them open, ran 40 metres downfield and never looked back. The other story, Lara, was like sitting at GIO Stadium last Saturday, and Dylan Brown walking around in his tracksuit. Like, Dylan Brown's on $800,000-900,000 a year. He's not playing. And this week when they lose Ioing, it's the perfect chance to bring him back. And he says, no, we need to see what our future looks like. He stays firm. And it was Dean Hawkins that won them the game. Because Mitch Moses was parked on the right with Zach Lomax, and everyone's thinking, you've got to go to Lomax. You've got to go to Moses and Lomax. He overcalls the footy, plays to Russell, Addo Carr scores in the corner. And that was a moment where Jason Ryles has given Dean Hawkins that opportunity because he knows that he's going to be there next year. He's been brave, Ryles. I think we've all admired what he's done this year.
Very brave, and it's come off for him, which is great.
But I think we're all enjoying watching them too. The style of footy that they're playing, the energy.
Last week, as we keep saying about the Raiders game, and I saw great things in that from them. Tonight they brought that for longer periods, and they matched it with Brisbane. That opening first half, it was kick for kick, and they were everything that Brisbane were throwing at them, they were equally up for the challenge. So it was a terrific effort, and he should be very happy tonight sitting in the rooms there now, Jason Ryles. That's his best win as a coach.
Yeah, they've lost their last 3, and the game before the Raiders was the Panthers. Now they pushed the Panthers too. It was a game. It took Penrith 50 minutes. It was easy 50 minutes before they got themselves on top. Tonight they went for 80.